Hello, everyone. We've got some people here. Right. So, if you can remember, last summertime, we covered a case about a man, sorry, called James, and he'd gone missing in the Tennessee area. I did have talks with Mum about coming on and doing an awareness video back then, but she was part of the search group, very active, and also things happened that quickly in that case that um, she didn't sadly need to do the awareness. Well, it's a bit of both, but she's here today. She wants to talk about her son, suicide awareness, and also things going forward for her son's memory and what they plan to do with that. And here she is. Hello.
Hi.
You want to just quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Danielle Loverdi. Everybody calls me Danny. I'm the mama to the young man that went missing that you're speaking of. His name is James Guestwicki. It is okay to call him a boy because that's how his dad and I still see him as a young boy. It's hard to imagine him anything other than that, just because he was our little boy. But yeah, he was a sweet, sweet young man. Wore his heart on his sleeve. Um, didn't treat anybody with any kind of ill. He would tolerate and allow any kind of treatment. He just always had nothing but love to show everybody. And one of the things that we've come to find out since his passing is he actually did touch a lot of people's lives. We've had some people reach out and say they met him at an instance and fell in love with them and consider him a son to them. And when they found out he was no longer with us, was deeply impacted by that loss. And it's endearing to know that he did touch some lives in that short period of time that he was here. He was 24.
He was also a bit of a writer. If I just take us off the screen,
Oh, yeah, he wrote a beautiful little poem. I remember when he wrote this, he was so proud of it. Um, and said, "What did you think of that, Mom?" But yeah, it's a little glimpse into the deeper thinking of James. He,
so what he wrote was it's on the screen for you to see, but I struggle to see it because of the lighting and that on the picture. So this consciousness we have is very, very divine. It's love and it's nothing to be taken for granted. We are all angels, divine beings, living in this flesh and blood, yet we cannot handle or understand our own pain, but we still feel it. We still feel it'll be all okay, James.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
lost my. There we go.
Thank you for reading that. The small little impact that he had, the little accomplishments that he was able to have in his life, mean a lot to his dad and I.
So Doodlebug was the one who actually brought this case, the awareness to the case to me. She's in the chat.
Oh,
Um,
I'm sorry, who?
Doodlebug. She's a she
That sounds
reads out.
familiar.
She made you a flyer.
Okay, that's why. Yes.
Yeah, here I've got the flyer here. I can show you.
Yeah.
Might spring.
I
Oh,
believe she knows a very close family friend of ours named Doug Meeks, if I remember correctly.
you'd have to ask her, but she's very secretive.
So, yeah.
So this is the flyer she made. I don't know if it rings any bells to you.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that. Yeah, thank you, Doodlebug. Appreciate that. That really meant a lot. The people that were willing to like make their own flyers like at a time like that. What do you need? You don't want to have to ask for help. So, people that took
Yeah.
initiative and help, that really meant the world to us. Yeah.
So, guys, there's a few things in the description to this video, and they are the Remembering James Facebook was the search for James Facebook.
Yeah.
There's also a Venmo and a GoFundMe. Just to, if you can't help, if you could share it, that would be grateful. We would, the family would anyway, be very grateful for that, because they've got costs that have just been sprung on them out of nowhere that nobody expects.
Yeah.
So everybody can help with that. Uh, that would be, I'd appreciate it, and I'm sure the family would as well. Um,
Yes.
what was
Thank
I
you.
doing next?
Appreciate
Oh,
that.
but yeah, the links are in the description. If one of the mods want to grab them and drop them throughout the video, you can. If not, don't worry about it. They're in the description. If you're in the Discord, uh, I took something off their Facebook that just explains in a little bit more detail that I don't want to do on this live. That's in there that the family posted, just to show you what the money's going towards and that. But I won't post it on YouTube and that, just because, well, we know what people on YouTube are like. So yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. Put
So
yourself out there.
as far as the case went, I mean, because it went. I mean, I'm sure for you, every day was like 3 days, but it went pretty quick in regards of missing persons cases. And although you
Yeah.
didn't, get the outcome you wanted, you've got answers, and you're able to. You're in the next stages of like what you're going through and all that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
regarding the police and that, do you feel that you got a lot of support from the police and that they were doing everything that they could all around the clock?
Yes. W- from right away. Well, initially, I think I told you this, that the first detective or police officer that got called in on the missing person, he went missing on November 3rd. It was a Monday. Tuesday, the police were contacted, and I had to prod for that to happen by the facility that he was a resident at. And then they established a missing person case with a legitimate missing case number, because he has diagnosis of autism and some other mental health diagnoses. So it made it able to be a missing person, because you wouldn't believe this, but people can go missing and the police just say, well, they're an adult. If they want to go missing, they're allowed to. But thankfully, we didn't run into that, and we had like all the paperwork in place necessary to be able to have a legitimate missing person case. So they did look into the only place that I could give him a lead, which was the dollar store, because James had spent some money there, and I have the credit card statement showing that he had gone to the dollar store. So they did look at the video, and the police officer that looked at it inaccurately reported, and that's why during the beginning of the search, that it really was thrown off, because everybody was looking for a car that this young man got into at the dollar store that the police officer said was my son, and it was not my son. So Wednesday came along, that would be the 5th, and the new detective came on, followed up with that other police officer's work, and saw that it was inaccurate, and immediately called me. And um, that's when the concern really got heightened, because that was an inaccurate reporting, and that was what was spreading all over the news and on social media. And even after we had gotten there and started searching and established that that was an inaccurate report, it was still circulating, which was very frustrating. But once that next detective took over, he went above and beyond. He was actually very, very helpful, and we have nothing but good thoughts and feelings towards him and all of the Gallatin, Tennessee Police Department, because we were out and about. We were there a week. So we were running into police officers, and I was talking to them and telling them thank you and please don't quit looking for my son. And they were very compassionate and caring, and they expressed their dedication to it. So I don't have anything bad to say about the police department on our end. For our experience, I know it can be different for other people, but we were fortunate that we ran into a good detective with a good team. And it really wasn't if it was up to that detective, if he would have gotten accurate information from the facility my son was a patient at, he probably would have found my son on Wednesday. No doubt would have found my son on Wednesday. But because he got inaccurate information from the facility, that my son was a patient at. It threw off the entire investigation for a week, and so he wasn't
So,
found for a
so
week.
what sort of misinformation were they giving? Do you know, like, or is that still part of an investigation? Or
No, it's not. Basically, they told the investigator that my son left the house after 4 o'clock. So they were searching on cameras everywhere, 4 o'clock on, and my son was already deceased at that time. So he wasn't going to be on any cameras anywhere, residential or business cameras, or there's 60 some city cameras that they have all around Gallatin. So once he went back to them and said, you know what, let's look at this closer, and made them show him the footage, they realized that James left the house around 1:30 and never returned. And so they were able to follow his path better because they had that proper time frame, and they were accessing business cameras, and they caught him. They caught sight of him, and they did it within, from getting that accurate information, within a couple hours. So that's why I say he would have been found on Wednesday if they would have gotten the proper information. So if anybody's ever going through this, make sure you're making people let you look at that footage, and the accurate information is absolutely necessary when it comes to time frames for searching people on cameras.
so, hang on, this is for those of you with smartphones. What are they called?
QR code.
QR code. That's it. A QR code for the GoFundMe if you want to go over to that. Also, there is the Venmo, which is directly to mom. If you want to support that way. Also, I have the video that you sent me earlier. Do you want me to play that?
Sure.
So, guys, this video is family was there today. It is where James was found, and it's they went there today to share some memories of him, and just to get like just to see where it was and things like that. And they shared a Munster can as well. I've seen that on another video. If you go over to the Facebook, Mum has put more videos on the Facebook, but I'll just play this one.
Here's James's spot. It's very, very calming and relaxing. And we got him a little hummingbird. Love you forever, James.
So that was where Mum and family went today. They shared a can of Munster and memories, and had a little, you know. Well, I'll let you talk about what today was about, actually, because you were the one that went and
Yeah.
experienced it. Obviously, if you want to keep some things back, that's fine. But
Yeah. Well, we met with the investigator again, and it was actually James's dad, Scott's, idea to come here and get some more information for closure, and of course I support him wholeheartedly in all the decisions in the process of processing this grief. So when he said he wanted to do this, I was all for it, and I came, and I'm actually really glad that I did, because I didn't realize I needed some of the information that we found out today, and it gave us some closure and some peace um, in the process of being able to journey through this grief. It's just, I don't, it's something we will never ever get over. It's something that will forever affect us. I think Scott said today it's like traveling on an empty train that goes nowhere, and it's just a lot of emotions. And even my daughter, who was James's best friend, she said that it's just hard to believe that he's not here, and the feeling of wanting to save him is still there. And so does his dad feel that. Like, it's just, you can't let go of the thought of trying to save somebody that you love so much. But we met and got some of that clarity that we needed, picked up his belongings that they had in evidence, and we were able to travel to the place where they found him. And as you saw in the video, it was just very peaceful. And that's where he was at for a whole week, amazingly in good condition, considering. And we had a funeral, we had a closed casket just because the way James was, he did not like people look at him. He was actually very, if you look at his picture, he was a very handsome young man. And I'll remember when he was born, he was just the most beautiful baby. Everybody said he was so, well, they would think it was a girl because he was so pretty and had the longest eyelashes. And I would have him dressed in blue head to toe, and they would be like, "Oh, what's her name?" But as he got older and people would look at him, he would get so like put off by it and be like, "Mom, why are people staring at me?" And I'm just like, because you're a good looking kid." And so knowing that his personality was like he didn't like people staring at him, we chose to have a closed casket because we were trying to honor the little bit that we would know he would want, that he had shared with us through life experiences, and that we tried to honor that. But we were in no way, shape, or form prepared to bury our son. We didn't have any funds set aside for anything like that. And matter of fact, all of our funds went towards trying to get him the help that he needed. And so that's what we were more focused on, more than saving up money so that we could transport his body and have him buried in grave sites and funeral homes and gravestones and all that. So that's why we have the GoFundMe, because we
Is
are
that
just,
why he was where he was? Sorry. Is that
yes,
why he was where he was? Because,
yes.
like you just said about getting him help, because
Yeah, he
this place, it wasn't, it wasn't, just a normal residential area, like what area, home. Was it like it was actually a supported accommodation and things
yes,
like that?
it was a mental health facility in Hendersonville, Tennessee. They had headquarters. They would, and he was following their program, and it was uh, it was supposed to specialize in mental health, is which is why we wanted him to go there when they suggested it, and we were very hopeful about the program. One of the things they said was, "Is if the insurance stops paying, we don't kick people out," and we thought, "Oh, well, that's great," you know. But it was a false hope because they didn't even follow their own procedures and protocols. He was on restrictions, is what they call it. I even heard one of the residents that was in the group home with them say James was on restrictions. I heard one of the house supervisors say James was on restrictions. He wasn't supposed to be leaving the house alone. And they told him he could go for a half-hour walk, but then didn't realize he was missing for 6 hours before they reached out to say, "Hey, James didn't come home. Did he reach out to you?" And that was at 8:32 in the evening on November 3rd that I didn't even get because I was already in bed. And so I didn't find out until the next day. But yeah, it was supposed to be a mental health facility that specializes in helping people navigate mental health diagnoses. They even manage medications. Like it was a legit place. It's a legit business that sadly failed our son immensely. And we won't ever be able to help him anymore in life now because of it.
So, regarding that, you think that's why they changed the timeline and things like
I
that,
don't
and
know. You know,
doing that? I mean,
I had several
yeah,
people reach out to
it's not
me.
helpful to,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know why they would say some of the things they said, like that his stuff was in garbage bags on the driveway when we got there to go look at his room. They wouldn't even let us in his room. They'd already washed his sheets. Like, how did they know he wasn't coming back? And then nobody from the facility anywhere cared to help for all the searching was going. I was like viral in that area. His face was everywhere. It was on the news. It was, like nobody came to help look or offer any kind of condolences. I've to this day have not gotten a phone call of condolence or a card or nothing. Um, I think they're nervous, but the fact that they reported that inaccurate time was like just added insult to the injury because not only did they lose him, they they then inaccurately helped with the investigation. And then on top of that, I guess I was told, I haven't verified this or not, but 5 months before my son went missing, somebody else had gone missing from there. I don't know how accurate that is, but I do know that like a few weeks ago, and it is accurately reported from the detective, there was somebody else that went missing from that same exact house. Fortunately, he was found at a friend's house, and so that wasn't it was a better outcome than our son's. And then I was told by somebody else that met my son while they were there that somebody had died from an overdose in that very house right before he had gotten there. So I don't know. And then I have someone reach out to me and said that they connected with my son while they were there and saw some very concerning paranoia behaviors by my son, speech by my son. So they went to staff and was like, I am very concerned for him. And they didn't do anything. They spent one night in the house to keep an eye on James, and that was all they did. They didn't do anything else. Um, and then I had another person reach out to me. They said they wanted to stay anonymous, but they said that the way it looked to her, and she had knew my son in the facility as well and connected with him, said that it to her it seemed like the staff just gave up on him, like they just didn't know how to help him, so they weren't trying to connect with him or keep an eye on him or do anything. So
then you call your parents.
yeah, and then that's what his dad Scott and I are so hurt about. Like if they couldn't help him, call us. Call us. We say, hey, he's reached to the end of this program. We're not able to help him. Please come get him, or what do you want to do next? We were actively involved in our son's life. It's not like they didn't know us. I spoke with his therapist regularly, emails regularly. So they had to have noticed the shift. I had just visited. This is another thing. If anybody's watching this because they are concerned about suicide awareness, if there is a shift in your loved one, in their personality, in their demeanor, take it seriously if they suffer from depression or suicidal ideation, because that I didn't know. I mean, everything's hindsight, right? After you're out of a situation and you look back on it, you see it with clarity. When I went to visit him in October, which was just a few short weeks before he went missing, I noticed his just overwhelming sadness about him. It was so strong. As his mother, I could feel his sadness. It was actually bringing me to tears. And I kept asking him, what is wrong, James? What's wrong? And he wouldn't tell me. And I spent 2 full days with him. And he wouldn't tell me. But I did remember calling his therapist to tell him. She says, yeah, she noticed it too. So they knew something was wrong. And they're the professionals. So you can't trust these places. You just cannot trust them. And if your child, whether they're young or an adult, if they're on the spectrum at all and they have a harder time communicating, then you better be even more cautious about where you support your loved one going, because they're not designed to actually um, keep an eye on people, if you know what I mean,
Proper care.
for the proper care. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to ask you because, like, you were heavily involved in the searches, and you said earlier that you was a bit annoyed that you didn't know the information, um, that there was withheld because you were there, you were searching there, weren't you? You hadn't gone to that spot particularly, but you were in and around that area.
Yes.
But I don't want to drag doom and gloom into it. I just wanted to the are they content creators? The two women that come out to help you, uh,
Yeah.
like as a way of thanking them, like would
Yeah.
like what were they like? Because I've seen a few videos of them, and they had a
Yeah.
dog with them, and
Mm-hmm.
they they were always checking the surroundings before going in, and things like
Yes.
that. So they
She
seemed
was
quite
godsend.
well put together.
Yes, her name is
Yeah.
Jules, and she runs here in America. She has a very popular podcast as well, True Crime and Headlines. Um, she got wind of it because she's actually native to Tennessee. She got wind of the case, and it touched her because she used to work in special ed, and was around a lot of people with autism. So I think that's what struck her at first to recognize it. And then she does live in Tennessee, not that far from Gallatin. So she reached out to me, and it couldn't have came at a better time because I have no idea how to search for a missing person. I was just going off of sheer will. and love for my son. I was not going to leave Gallatin, Tennessee until I found my son. So I was organizing my amateur self these search parties. And I got to tell you, Gallatin, Tennessee has some of the most amazing people, because I have made friendships now here with people that just showed up. I don't even know who they are. Michaela's one that showed up, and she came the very first time I set up a meeting. She came out, she put her family on hold, and she was boots on the ground helping me search, and she was going on doors, knocking on doors, asking to see people's cameras, like doing like real detective police work to try and help our find our son. And there was several people that did that over the course of the next few days. Some people showed up with drones, and I'm horrible with names, otherwise I'd mention them, but those people were amazing. And so Jules got wind of it, and she's a professional, so she's been doing this for years. So she is actually certified in offering assistance for searching for people. So she had all the gear, all the knowledge, the apps to use on the phone. And so she offered to help, and I was absolutely appreciative and wanting that help. And she showed up the next day and helped search 2 whole days. And she has a friend named Jade, sweet young girl, who has 2 dogs. One is a cadaver dog, and the other one is just a regular search and rescue dog. And she brought out both dogs. Neither one of those dogs hit anything, but that's because I think the good Lord was keeping us protected. But they searched everywhere. The police even had dogs come out and search for James' scent, but because it was a common path he always used, so apparently when that happens, it's harder to pick up a scent. It's better when they don't leave the house a lot. The dogs can find a scent easier. But
Well,
anyway,
yeah,
my
that could be down to, like, you've got, say this is the path. He sticks to
Mhm.
this side of the path, and the dog's
Right.
doing down that side. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just
Yeah. So there was too much.
things like that, I guess.
Yeah. So that didn't bring anything either. That was really
And
disheartening.
plus, if there was heavy traffic down that way,
Yes, very heavy traffic in that
when I say
intersection. So
heavy
they
traffic, I don't think. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it was a very, very well traveled area. Yeah, by cars and people. There's sidewalks and cars. Yeah, so I couldn't pick up his scent. But anyway, the those ladies, Jules and Jade, came out and helped us search, and talk about knowing how to do investigative work. She's like, where's his belongings? Let's go through his stuff. So she went through all of his notebooks, his suitcase, the stuff that they had on the driveway, and garbage bags. She went through all that stuff, and was making phone calls. At one point, a girl that James had formed a relationship with had reached out, but everything that she reached out to me with was all lies and misleading, and the police was able to look at all that. But Jules was trying to navigate through all that and communicate with her and see if she could get any information. And really, that was all just fluff. What it came down to is my son was not supposed to be leaving that house alone. He was supposed to have a person with him, but he left, and they didn't notice, and they didn't care, and he went to his favorite spot and never came back.
Well, you have your memories with him. I'm not saying that this should have happened. That certainly shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wish at least one person at that place had, took a notice to him. Like, because my sister works in a similar place where, well, it's when I say it's similar, she works for people with Down syndrome. They can't look after themselves. Basically, they've got Down
Mm-hmm.
syndrome or the mind of a child and things like that. And she like her job was basically, because she's a carer, to just go in and help them all. But she ended up taking a liking to one of the lads there, and now, because he has a quite active life, like he goes to the cinema once a week and things like that, and they've always struggled to get him like to behave and that when they go. But my sister goes, and um, her boyfriend goes with him, but only he has to do a day's training a week in order for him to
Mm-hmm.
be able to go. And
Oh.
yeah, he loves it. It's like he always says, when's he going to move into my sisters and things like that. And yeah, but
Yeah,
like
we were
someone to just
hoping.
take initiative like that,
Yeah,
because
that's all we wanted. We want him to have that kind of independence. That's what we were
yeah,
trying to get
well,
to. Mhm.
it sounds like he had no one there that he could confide in, and that's really what he needed. And no one was there, like to take the time to listen to him. Do you know what I mean? They were all
Yes.
busy doing whatever it was they was doing.
Yeah, everybody kept leaving him. He would connect with somebody, and then they would graduate the program and leave, and then he was just left behind there. Um, it seems he had gone to some other facilities, like rehab facilities, in the past, and he actually ran into one woman at one of the facilities. Her name's Elizabeth, and I didn't meet her until after he had already passed away because she reached out to me. She had connected with him at one of the places he had been and fell in love with him and as a mother-son type of relationship, and connected with him and stayed in contact with him. And she said she would always watch out for him when he was there, and people would be mean, because he was different and awkward. Um, and he always felt like that. He always felt like the oddball out of like nobody could relate to him because he was different and in a very unique and beautiful way. But not everybody sees things like that. And, the people would be mean to him. And it would make her so mad, she said. So she's pretty sure that he ran into the same thing at this place, which just breaks my heart because I had no idea. He never once told me anything. I do know when I dropped him off that both times, well, the first time I dropped him off at that house, he was just so awkward about it, like weird, like he did not want me coming in the house. He was like almost like he was scared. So I don't know what was going on in there, if there was anything at all, or if he was just lonely. He's definitely was lonely because he didn't feel like he had anybody he could turn to, and nobody had connected with him enough to keep an eye on him or care about his whereabouts. And then nobody saw him walking off or going anywhere to do whatever he did. It's just he was all alone.
So I've got a question here from Teddy. It says, Danielle, what's the one thing you think can help parents trying to help their children in the same situation as James?
That's a good question. Um, the only way I would be able to answer that is to go back on my own experience with James, and my motherly instinct perked up when I last saw him, when I had the tears coming into my eyes because I could feel his sadness, and I saw a different shift. If you see a shift in your child at all, any kind of shift, don't ignore it. Pay attention to it. Listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. Biggest thing I can say, because my gut was screaming at me, and I let others influence me. I let the thought of, oh, he's in this facility, so he should be safe. They're doing what they're supposed to help him. Just always listen to your gut, and nobody's going to advocate for your child more than you. If you have a child that's on the spectrum, they seemed, that here's a statistic to keep in mind. We're what, how many weeks in on January? Not even 4.
Well, it's the
Is
last
it
week, isn't it?
four?
Last week
There's
now.
our there's already been 80,000 suicides in America. 80,000. I mean,
Yeah, I've seen that. Somebody shared it in your group. There's
every
normally 800,000, I think the original post says, a year.
mhm.
800,000 suicides a year. Is that in America?
Yes, yeah.
And then we're so many weeks into January, and there's already 80,000. That's where I got that black ribbon from.
Yeah. So, I
But yeah,
mean,
that is.
people on the spectrum suffer from mental illness because they do feel so vastly different than neurotypical people. So they struggle more, and they struggle with addiction, and they struggle with being understood because they don't always know how to express themselves properly. So if you do have a child in that type of category, um, it's very important to have the control in your hands. So if you do send them to a place that you feel is a safe place, you have access to get their medical information. So if you have to do a conservatorship on that child because they're just not making good choices, don't hold off. We held off. That was my next step, but now I can't do it. I should have done that probably a few years back. And then that way he would have been at this place. I could have had more access to his information. The HIPAA laws are not our friends over here. HIPAA law, what how it came about, I understand, but it doesn't do anything but hinder investigations and hinder family from being able to help loved ones. So, in order to get around that, if you have a child or an adult child that you need to help, you have to have the power in your hands because they will not talk to you, they will not help you. So, have that in place, do that. If we were trying to give our son a chance to be able to find his way, and it was just too long. We should have had that conservatorship in place, and that way you can help them make decisions for a better outcome. Could make them get on medication. Um, Also, it helps you manage their money and also getting social security to help out with stuff like that. It's just you have access to being able to help your child more. With that being said, just really vet these places that you're trying to get your loved one help at. Just make sure that you are really following through with, reading up on reviews, finding out how they operate, making sure that you have access to all their medical records. And you have to be really involved, super, super involved. And then it's just sad here too, because people like us, we don't have a lot of help for our adult kids in this case with James, like super high functioning autism, where they just can't quite function on their own, but they're so high functioning, they know they're different, but they need a little help. It's like the gap that they fall in. There's not a lot of help at all for parents like us that are trying to help our kids become independent. So I think there's needs to be some drastic change around that. I have, since this happened, I keep praying to turn this pain into purpose. So I don't know what'll come of it. We're still pretty raw in grief, but I don't plan on letting this just fade away in my life. I feel like I need to live my life in honor of James now. So whatever road that I take with this, the purpose of keeping my son's memory alive is to help others. So I hope um, this podcast today does something like that. And just if somebody's struggling, know that ending it is never the answer. All that does is perpetuate pain in a new direction. And your loved ones need you. There's people out there that are going to love you that you haven't met yet. Just stay. Just stay. Please stay.
I'm trying to find out how I share your group into the chat. There's normally a link button. Okay. Invite friends, see if this works. Nope. Okay, well, it is in the video description anyway. I just wanted to put it into the chat. But yeah, I mean, especially you come to me not long after it happened. I'd say about a month after it happened. You come to me and you said, I want to talk about this and all this and all that. But you said, like, off your own back, you said yourself, I just need time right now, and you've took the time, and you've done it the right way. I think, like I didn't nag you or anything to come back.
Yeah,
You
oh
come
no.
back when you felt ready, and that was about a week ago, wasn't it? You reached out again and said, I'm ready, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay then.
Yes. Yeah. You weren't pushy
So
at all.
Teddy says you're a good mom,
Oh, well, thank you.
and Rescue says thank you for sharing your story. And then Clever Alt says, thank you so much for sharing. We cannot understand your pain, but we can all see your courage to help others.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Please, says here, please stay. Such a powerful message. And Grizz has just gifted a membership. So thank you for that, Grizz. He does my music for my channel. He might be someone that can help with if you wanted some music writing. Like he does it through like the AI format and things like that. I didn't play that one today because I didn't think it was appropriate. But like I've got a little like rap song as my intro.
Oh,
So if there's anything like that that he can help me with, get you in contact with him. I know of an app, but it's terrible. But he knows what he's doing and things like that. So
Yeah.
he's done a lot actually for a few YouTubers, help them create music for their channels and whatnot.
Oh,
And
cool.
he just literally, when he goes live, he's just playing all the music that he makes and all that, like, and there's all different types in there. If you want to get a song that really like impacts people when they hear it, he's your guy.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's intriguing, actually. I love music. Music's very healing. I actually, between his dad and we share a Apple Music account, and we created a playlist, and we've just been adding songs to it. That when we want to think about James, we'll just listen to it. So yeah, music has a big impact on healing.
Yeah. Well, they say it's one of the biggest sins, don't they? But there's so much emotion that goes into singing.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird world we live in.
It is.
I pray
Human
God
beings.
brings. Hang on. I pray God brings comfort to you and James's friends and family, and then it says and James's dad
Oh,
underneath
thank you.
there.
Yeah, he's sitting off in the
So
distance. He can hear everything.
yeah, he's the one that's like he's in the video, isn't he? He's the chap in the video. He looks just
Mm.
like James. The only difference
I
is
know.
he's a bit
I
grey.
know. Yeah. Yeah. And my daughter and I are we're very much so, that little trio that week looking for him all along. We got really, I mean, we were already close, but like it bonded us even closer together. And that's one of the things my daughter and I keep saying is like when we're around him, we feel we're a little closer to James because it's like being around him. So yeah, our bond's pretty strong, and it's going to stay that way because we need each other to be able to get through this. So I hear that when people lose a child, it like pulls them apart. I can't comprehend that. Like I've only wanted to get closer to him because that's like my last connection to my son. So he's a good man. Oh, Scotty, say hi, Scott. They just had a really bad ice storm here in Gallatin, Tennessee. And I'm from the South. I live down in Alabama, so I drove 8 hours up, and wow, it really devastated. There was like people's pipes are bursting in their homes, losing power. This whole hotel is actually sold out because people are displaced from their homes right now because of this ice storm. Trees are 100 and some year old trees are split from the ice. It's crazy. I don't know what the heck's going on with our weather, but
Teddy's from New York, and he posted a video this morning of him going to work, and he'd just come out of the gas station, I think it was. He'd just come out of the somewhere anyway. It looked like the gas station because there's like pump sort of things there, and yeah, he's kicking the snow, moaning.
yeah, we're deep in winter right now.
I mean,
Hey,
we
Sandman.
get it. If it if it does get deep here, it's normally gone by the afternoon. But if it's like
Yeah,
not deep, but it's there and it's starting to
yeah,
cause problems, it tends to stay then.
yeah,
So we're
yeah.
stuck with it for a week.
I grew up in Ohio, so I'm not. I know about snow, but I've moved away to get away from it. So I don't want to live in it anymore. Thank you for having me on and letting me talk about my precious son. It
No,
means a lot.
anytime. We to be fair with you, we do awareness things like this quite a bit. I was looking into one case and I didn't know it was resolved. And I come across a family member and we had her on and she told her she told like her sister's story and we just went from there with cases like that and bringing the awareness side of it, the aftermath and that.
Right. Yeah, I want to know what
So,
suicide awareness is actually. I'm new in this journey, so I'm like, what is it? Like, what do you do? Like, some of these organizations are selling shirts and sweatshirts and items about suicide, but really when you get down to it, what is suicide awareness? I mean, what do you do to help people avoid it? Like, what is going on to help people avoid it?
yeah.
That's what I want to know. And so I guess that's going to be part of my journey in figuring this out because where am I going to fall into that category of helping somebody if I want to take this pain and turn it into purpose? And I guess that's, I'm at the beginning stages of creating something, I guess, and I need to figure that out.
So thank you so much for sharing, sending positive vibes and hugs, and then Teddy coming in with the when it comes up on the screen. James matters. Keep telling his story, Danielle.
Thank you, Teddy. I will.
He always knows
It
what to
really.
say. Teddy does. Get him off the screen. Yeah, here's the Facebook I couldn't get earlier for you guys. So there's actually two Facebooks, but obviously one now isn't needed, but the other one has been converted into a
Well,
Remembering James
actually,
page. So
it's just one account. What happened was that I started it when we were searching for him. So it was like help find or something, like I can't remember exactly what I named it. Find James Guest Wiki. So it's got the earliest videos of when we're out there looking for him. I'm asking for people to come help. And then after, of course, he was found, then I was like, well, I don't want to get rid of this. I feel like this needs to stay. I feel like this needs to be a part of his story. This needs to be a part of whatever movement this turns into. So I changed the name to Remembering Jamesy because as our family,
yeah,
he's always been endearingly called Jamesy, even though his name was James. That's how I had it in my phone. Still have it in my phone. So yeah, there's what's that one page, and his father has access to it, and my sister Aline has access to it. So us three will see anything that's posted on there, or messages sent. But we would love.
you can't post. You can't post in there. It's only like the owners. Only they can
Right.
post in there,
Yeah,
unless it's because
you can comment on the
I'm on a ban.
posts. People
Yeah,
can comment
you
on
can comment
posts.
on
Yeah.
that. But there is the other group that they were set up around about the same time. The one was set up by a is he a PI in Tennessee or something like that?
There was a woman that reached out to me to help me in the early stages. I can't even remember her name now, but she had started a page too, but I don't think it exists anymore. I don't know. I haven't followed it. Not she wasn't able to help much. She was just helping over the wire, and there wasn't much to post in there. She was just sharing the stuff that I
Well,
was sharing.
yeah, I've seen this one saying like that group is still there. It's just well because it was quite big as well. The majority of the
Hmm.
followers have left by the looks of it.
Yeah.
But groups like that, I mean, that can then transform into another group for a Tennessee family, and the locals are already in there. If you know what I mean.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, I
I
don't
hope
know.
they
There
don't.
there might
Yeah, I
be.
hope,
There might be another page created. I
yeah,
just didn't even know about it. Wouldn't
yeah.
surprise me.
We've got
I've
a
had some
woman.
crazy things happen.
Yeah, we've got a woman. She moderates for me, and I moderate Facebook groups, and she makes pages for families. And
Mm.
she's got one, and I keep telling her that's in New York. New York's popular in the true crime. Just change the name to another family, and
Yeah, don't lose your
she always says,
followers.
I will. Yeah, I will
Yeah.
when a case, and I'm like, no, listen to me. You don't understand that. Like my videos, if I put them in a New York group anywhere on Facebook, they blow up. As in, they do really well. And
Yeah.
new sometimes as well. Some of the groups they don't care if you're from Tennessee or wherever you're missing. They let you post it in there as well. So like they also help out with that. But um, I have noticed that like it's becoming a bit territorial over there, and those people that admin them have turned their Facebooks into pages, and like I don't know I don't understand Facebook, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a whole other world, Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Social.
thank you for coming on. And
Yes,
if
thank
there's
you.
anything that you wanted to like bring up, or is there anything that you want to say before you leave? Because I don't want you to go and you're like, oh damn, I wish I'd said that, or oh, I
Oh.
wish I'd brought that up.
Uh Other than the fact that my son just absolutely loved his family immensely. Um and we loved him, but a love wasn't enough to save him. So just advocate for your loved ones the best you can. Listen to your gut and hold your loved ones close tonight. And thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you for letting me be seen. That really means a lot. And I really appreciate all the prayers and the kind words. And to those that have already donated and the ones that are planning on donating, if you are, I thank you very, very much. We're definitely not into the social media for the reasons of making money. We're just trying to honor our son's wishes and to put him to rest how we know he would want to be, and honor him the way we know he would want to be, and help others in the process. So stay with us on this journey and see where it goes.
Well, on behalf of everybody here that's been listening, thank you for coming and sharing your story again. And if there's anything we can look into for you regarding setting something up, like if you wanted to, well, you've got more experience anyway because you've got a page and that for Facebook. But if there's any agencies you wanted us to look into for you, and maybe reach out to them for you to help you win this next part of your journey with, like you said, you don't know really what you want to do, but if they can help you put your thoughts and ideas into a
Yeah.
project or something like that, do you know what I mean?
I welcome ideas. Like if anybody's got, like what is suicide awareness? What in your mind, if you have personal experience with this or, close experience to this, if you have any ideas on what that looks like to you, shoot me a message. I would love to hear. I would love to hear what anybody has to say. Um, the part of healing as a community worldwide, because let's face it, suicide affects us worldwide. um, to be able to draw together and help each other, it's a communication that has to happen. There needs to not be a stigma around suicide. We need to be able to talk about it, um, grieve about it the way we need to in public. We need to be seen, heard, ideas shared, so that we can drop that number from 80,000 to much less, because that's unacceptable.
So Doodle says, what about t-shirts with Just Stay? That'd be a good also for fundraising.
Yeah, there's a lot of we that's one of the things. Tia, do you have the shirt
And
on? Oh,
maybe
my dog fell asleep. There's these shirts that we ran across online. We just so happen to have James's name added to the shirt list. There's something like 500 and some names on there, and his is on there. And it's just you can add your family member's name to the list, and then every so many weeks they have just that published, and then they go on to the next group. It I don't know how to describe it, or what it's called. I feel bad, but maybe you can look it up, where you can add your loved one's name to it. And of course it's got the teal and purple ribbon on it, and it's supposed to help with suicide awareness. Then there's a person.com. It was a sweatshirt, so there's a dear person behind me, know that you are loved and needed. There's a lot of shirts out there to support that. But like my question is okay, so you pay for these shirts, right? Where's what does that money go to? What
yeah.
part of suicide awareness, what does it offer? Like, because if I would have known there was any kind of suicide prevention, I certainly would have tapped into it, for my son, like, because it starts with mental health. It starts with people that are struggling to be seen, parents who are struggling to find answers, to have solutions offered. So, I mean, I could put a product out there, from bracelets to shirts to bags, and raise money, but where's that money going and what's it producing? That's what I want to know. And
Yeah, it's
right.
like that with most charities, though, isn't it? You got the big bosses in these big houses, and then the
Yeah,
shop's shutting down after a couple of years. The shop shut down because they can't afford to run.
right.
But sadly that's with any charity.
But I am
All
thinking
right,
about
then I'm
doing a
gonna.
nonprofit. I like the idea of a nonprofit, because
Yeah,
you can take
that'd
those,
be good.
yeah, you take those profits and you help people. So that's definitely on my radar. There's one, a local one in our area, the Benjamin Thomas Warner Foundation.
You could
They
do.
lost their.
I know there's a guy here in the UK. He pays
Uh-huh.
for a room, like with the money that he raises. He pays for a room at a homeless like we call them hostels here,
Yeah.
and he'll pay for it for the week because that's like 200 and something pound, and that's without meals. So what he'll do is he'll pay for the room and then buy them basic things, like hygiene things and
Mhm.
things that they haven't got to cook to eat, and things
Yeah.
like that. And
Yes, that's real action.
he was talking to me. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's something that you could do, like think about, like
Yeah.
if you found a good place, like where James was, but like a good
Yeah.
place that you were really impressed with, you could like help a family out. Do you know what I mean? Put the
Yes.
money towards
Yes.
helping a family out. Do
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yes, that resonates with me absolutely. Because, like I was saying, the foundation of the local family, they lost their son to fentanyl poisoning, and so what they do is they started a nonprofit and they pay for family members to go to rehab, and they follow them from the beginning of the process all the way to sobriety and then sober living and all that, and make sure they're completely supported and that family members are supported. It's so I'm impressed with that kind of action. That's the action that the world needs
Yeah,
more of. Not t-shirts that make money and then some big wig sitting behind his desk trying to figure out marketing ideas to make more money. That's not what I'm into at
yeah.
all. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on again, and like I said, reach out whenever you want. You've got my number and my Facebook, so
Yeah. Thank you.
um, just if you like message me. I've got this idea. What do you think? And maybe I can help evolve it, or go. Oh, actually, I know an organisation that can help you with it. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll do that
You're
for you.
you're
So
precious, Frank. Thank you. Thank you for that.
no, thank you for coming on and sharing James's story, and tell the family the thoughts and prayers from everyone on the channel are with them, and that sorry for taking much time.
It's okay. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you to everybody that joined and offered your kind words. Means a lot.
Right, guys, that is it for tonight. Thank you all for coming and listening to James's story. Thank you for being respectful, all of you, even you, Doodlebug. No, thank you all for coming, and hopefully, some point in the future, we can do something again for another family and get their stories out as well. If you, all I ask you guys do is just hit the thumbs up to help us get into the algorithm, and share the video somewhere where you think people will click on the video and listen. Jinx, Mark, Doodlebug, Fishy, and everybody else that's in the chat. I will speak to you guys later on. Again, thank you to Danielle and family for the time. Good night, everybody.